All right. Love them knives. LTK here. We're going to play with a little real steel. I just want to get this on tape in case there's some people out there, like maybe 3 people out of millions that might want to watch this video. I was just entertaining myself with real steel knives. And, of the real steels I've had, the Sea Eagle necessarily didn't really jump out at me. You love that. I love that. They give you the little cloth, the fitted box. I mean, the paperwork. It's just great stuff. I really like what Real Steel does. I like how they do their thing. You'd think they were paying me to do this, but hell no. Nope. I'm all on my own, folks. That's the way I roll. So, yeah, this is the Sea Eagle. It's G10, black G10, stonewashed. When you get the carbon fiber one, you can get it either in stonewash or satin. So, what we're going to do. And the reason I said that is because, you've got, this is a liner lock flipper. It's got G10 scales on it. It's got this open kind of pivot and back. I sent one to a buddy because I owed him money up in New York, my buddy Frank, and he liked it so much. I mean, he was just like totally didn't even know about Chinese knives, didn't really care about them. USA guy, steel worker, whatever. So he's like, wow, you have totally opened my horizons. I really didn't know and didn't care, but now, I mean, he's a Real Steel fan. This has got the Sandvik steel on it and that kind of stuff. So this is just something where I was online and I saw that they had optional scales that you could get pretty cheap. And I thought this would be fun to swap out the scales and make it a wild color instead of just, there's nothing wrong with black, but just to see what it'd be like to spice it up. And in case you've never swapped scales out or done that kind of thing, maybe you'd like to track along with me because that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to swap it out. So here we go. If you get these optional scales, colored scales, which is really cool, I like them. And oh God, I have not prepared anything for this in advance, as you may be able to see so clearly. So they give you a backspacer, which is really kind of funky. It's not very finished on the back there. In any case, and then they give you these scales. So you get the scales and the backspacer. Then you get the destructions, and it shows the different colors that are available. Now, I haven't got this one yet. This would be cool, right? G10 carbon fiber laminate, kind of a black and blue silver. But, you can get your black carbon fiber. You get blue, orange, and neon green. So we're going to do that and see on the other side when you get these, it shows you what's going on here. So basically you take these scales off and then you've got a separate screw that holds the backspacer in. And also there's a locating pin on the back part of the backspacer. So there's only one screw. It comes in from both sides. There's like a spacer that has threads in it. And so the screws come from both sides into your backspacer under the scales. Okay, so you don't see them here. It's going through here. And then there's a locator pin around there. There's the screw and that pin that's threaded on both sides in here. But you don't see that. All you see is these. Okay, so when you take the scales off, you got screws here and a locator pin here. So, and you get your bearings and your other stuff, But these shouldn't be that difficult because you don't have a bunch of standoffs or anything. So you know what? Let's take it apart. So I got a number 10 Torx here. And this is that really nice stuff. This German company that makes hardened bits. So got them. In any case, I'm coming in from the pocket clip side. That seems to be where I can get some traction on this. And so, and you know what? Let's put ourselves a little lighter background so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. But you can see that I'm unscrewing this. Okay. Got that unscrewed now. See that? Okay. Let's go to the back. Might have to push a little, and I'm not sure that it was really designed to be taken apart with a number 10 Torx, but I had a 7/64th size Allen key or hex, and that went in there and it's stuck in there, and I don't know that that's right, and I don't have the metric stuff, the metric hexes, which I guess I need to get a set of them. In any case, so we're taking the pocket clip and this thing out. This will push out the other side. And we've got this loosened enough to where that's coming out the front. And yeah, there it is. Okay, so we've got the front, got the back. Let's just lay it out in our diagram here. Okay, so we want to take the scale off. So we got the black scale off. Bingo, right? Now, what we see is that we do have another screw here. That's a number 6. So we get I've got my Torx set 5, 6. I think it's a number 6. We're going to find out real quick. We're just going to fit it right in here and see. Yep, that's it. Okay, so we're going to take our number 10 out, put our number 6 in. And the thing is, this is, going to unscrew. My lighting may not be perfect for you, so, but know that I'm unscrewing the screw. And there it is, okay? So now that we've got everything right here, there's your backspacer screw. Now, you can take this off. There's your lock bar with your little detent ball and that kind of thing. Okay, so you got that off. That came from the back side. What do you got in here? Well, you got, you got your bearings, and they're still stuck in there. Do we really need to go down that road? Not to take this off, because this screws in from both sides. Under this scale, there's a screw that's coming through this threaded piece, and it gets screwed in from both sides. This is just a locator pin. This is not screwed into anything. It just comes out like that, okay? This is what you got left, and you can pull this off because it's being held by the screw on the other side. So just pull it off, okay? And you note that this is like this. To the front is the small, to the back is the thicker part. So if you want to do that, don't get it backwards. Like this. Now we've put it in. Now we just need to put our locator pin in here. Like that. And push it in. So now we've replaced the backspacer, which is not very pretty. This is really real strange that it wasn't more finished like this. I'm not sure that that is the way it's supposed to be. So that's a real thinker. So you got your spacer here. You can pull this pivot out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do the least amount of damage to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the, well, let's just do this. We can pull this all apart if you want, and we can do that. That's not a problem. It's not like it's rocket science. So there we go. There's that bearing. There's this bearing in here. There's our back pivot and spacer. So there you go. That came through from the presentation side. This from the presentation side. If you really want to pull this apart, and you can. Okay. So there's our presentation side. There's our back side. Now you can go the other way if you want. What I think I'm going to do here, just pull this off. Dank. There you go. There's the other side. So this side here, if you look at this, see how these holes are here on this scale? Look at the holes on this scale. See, in one side of the scale, the pivot pin is squared off. On the other side, it screws in to the pin. So this, if you look at it, see where those are squared off, those little sides there? Yeah, right there. That's what fits up through the scale that has these squared off ends. So you don't want to get these scales screwed up. When that scale came off, I want these squared off end sides to go back on this. Okay? We still got our blade stop up here. See? So, what do we want to do? Well, we want to put this squared off piece pivot back through here and see how that is. And the squared off area needs to slide down where that, in that form that's made for it, like that. And that'll push flush then, like that. So you want to do the same thing on the other side. Comes through from that side. This is the tube. And see, it's going to stand up unless you turn it and you get it right where it won't move, because it pushes in, because that is flattened. And it goes only one way in that scale. Okay, so now you got them like that. Now you probably better lay this down, because those will fall back outwards. But what you want to do is you want to put the knife back together and put the other scale on the other side. Oops. Because I didn't take this liner out. This liner is what is equivalent to this liner. So you got that scale, that liner. You want to put the knife blade on so you can put your bearings right on the end, if you can see, to do it. There you go. There you got your bearings down on here now. Now put your knife blade back on, slide it off the table here. And you know, if it's folded, that's how it's going to be, like that. Put your bearings on top, right here. Just like that. Now, you put this on the knife, so that, you know, when it's opened, this engages the back of this blade. So just remember how that goes. And this should fit all together like that. Okay, now you got that lock bar though that you're kind of compressing as you're doing that. If you want, you can see, you can let that lock bar kind of come in that way. You can push all this stuff together a little bit easier. So you got your locator pin here. This needs to screw in right there and hold that backspacer on. So that's your next move with your little number 6 Torx. Put that pin in there. Put the screw in the scale. In the liner to go into. I'll show you how I'm doing this. In here. And I shouldn't have picked the knife up because I got this screwed in now. But my pivots just fell out front and back. Nope, just the back one. Okay. And the problem was that, of course, you need your spacer in here. So make sure that you still have your spacer there. This one fell out, so it needs to go back in. And it needs to turn a certain way to go flush. And that'll come flush as we need it to. Okay, there it goes. Now it's flush. Now we got these down here. They're not being held in by anything. We got to put the scale on. And you can see how the scales are milled to where it accommodates the head of this screw, which should be sufficiently tight. Note that I never took the screw out of the other side. There's no reason to do that necessarily. Okay, that's snugged. There's no reason to do that. Now notice that these holes are not a funny squared shape. They go right on here. You've got your rear with your pocket clip, like that. But we don't need number 6 Torx. I'm using a number 10. And I'm going to put this little screw through here, into here. Locate it. Right there. There you go. And now we're going to screw that in. Shouldn't be too tough. Number 10 Torx. Let me spin this just a little bit. Okay, so I've got that. It's making contact. We've got the front one like that, okay? Now we can pick it up. We got a hold of the back side of the pivot. We're screwing this in. Okay? And you can feel this snug up on this side. As you do that, that number 10 is probably not the ideal tool for this. I think it may be actually a hex key that's metric, but I don't have it. The 10 is working. If you don't push down sufficiently, you're not going to make good enough contact to, because it will spin in there. You can kind of spin it. You can feel where you're not. So I'm pushing to make contact, and I'm snugging it up. It should be pretty close to being centered. And I'm going to give it a little bit, maybe more. Okay, that's tight enough. This might be a little too tight. Yeah, I got the pivot a little bit too tight. So I need to, it's centered. Needs to back off just a tiny bit so I'm not putting too much pressure on the bearings. Okay. That works. So now you've got a new set of scales on here instead of the black. Here's your black scales. I guess this is fairly unfinished too. It's really strange. Maybe it just looks funny. So you can take your instructions like this and put them back. I mean, you want to keep your scales in case you ever want to convert it back. So put your scales in here and put your backspacer in here. All right. Seal it up. Now, how many black scales do you need? Well, you know what? Oh, yeah. Get action on this. Let's see. We got any blade play? No. No lock rock. We're in good shape. We're centered up. Yes, we are. Perfect. Okay, so now we got an orange knife. Hey, this used to be black too. Whoops. This used to be black too. What do you think about those? Yes, I had to get all the colors. Well, I couldn't get that blue weave. Ooh, I'd like to get that. But guys, I just thought this would be fun. These Sea Eagles flip so nice. They're great. The Sandvik steel is so fun. And yeah. Do you like the colors? I mean, I like a little bit of color. I mean, it kind of gets old. Black G10, black G10, black G10. And no, we're going neon, blue, and orange. And so I hope you guys got something out of this. Because it's kind of fun to watch somebody do this in case. And you can buy the scales, but you get that little diagram, which is helpful, but it's kind of nice to watch somebody else, because the first one I did, I think, was this one. And I took the backspacer screws out from both sides. And then I realized I didn't need to do that. I can leave the locator pin in here. I can leave this one screwed in from here. I mean, from that side. And all I had to do was undo this, and this number 6 on this side. Because then the scale comes off, the liner comes off, and the backspacer comes off of that locator pin and this little shaft here that's threaded on both ends. You only have to take that screw off of that side, and then this will slide off. You can put the other one on, liner, this, flip it over, pull this, swap it, and then screw it in. And it's a little easier than taking the screw out of both and taking that pin out, letting that kind of fall out. There's no point. So just get it from that side first. And if you'll notice when you mess with these, this doesn't do anything from this presentation side. You got to get it from this side. You got to get it from the lock side or the pocket clip side. And it doesn't fit exactly. You got to push to make contact, but it will make contact and it will unscrew, because these aren't Loctited, thank God. And probably the reason they didn't do that is because, first of all, they're smart, and second of all, they're selling scale sets, so they don't want to lock you out of making you crazy frustrated, changing those out. So, I mean, the Sea Eagle's a cool knife. I've really warmed up to this a lot. It wasn't my big deal. I kind of was like the G10 Megalodon, and now not so much the Megalodon in the G10, but I'm really liking the Sea Eagle. It's such a great flipper. It's sharp, and they're very inexpensive. I mean, fairly inexpensive. I mean, they run, $58 or something. And then you can get these scale sets. I know I can get them. I've got a source. And so I think they were like, $8 or $10 a shot. So, I mean, I think the carbon fiber ones are more expensive, maybe like $20, something like that. But, yeah. Interesting. I like it. It works well. I hope I got everything put together. This is, yeah, this is, okay, we got it good. Yeah, there you go. Nice. I got that a little tight now. Readjust. It's always something, right? Yeah. I'll let you go. Just thought maybe it'd be of interest, especially to you that are into real steel and have never done a scale swap. There you go. Thank you so much for your time. Yes, we love them knives.